guys, welcome back to my channel. So this video isn't necessarily going to be politically correct. In this one, I wanted to discuss the idea that the notion that beauty is subjective, or that it is in the eye of the beholder. You know, we often say that, you know, everybody's beautiful, everybody's beautiful. It's something that we tell children, especially young girl children, all the time. And you know, if by everybody is beautiful we mean that there is something beautiful in everyone, then yes, definitely that is true. But you know, everybody is not conventionally attractive. I think that we know what attractive people look like. Now, we can lie about this, which we tend to do as a society, but we know what they look like. Like, there are people in this society that if you were to put them in the room with 10 people, 7 out of them, 8 out of them would agree, yes, this is an attractive person. Now, they may not be attracted to them, which is a whole different ball game, right? They may not want to date them, they may not want to marry them, but they can agree, you know, this person is attractive. I mean, who can deny the attractiveness of a Nikki Tart, of a Ryan Destiny, of a Justine Skye, right? These women are or would be considered to be attractive by most, you know, perhaps not all, but really most. And you know, some of the people who claim these women are not pretty are just, you know, haters. I'm just gonna say it now. Why it is important for us to acknowledge that, you know, in the hierarchy, in the system, some women benefit more than others is something that I will touch on toward the end of the video. But right here, I just wanted to emphasize the fact that the halo effect is truly real. Now, there are studies, for example, that prove that babies as young as 1 day old, yes, you guys, I said 1 day old, are more likely to, you know, stare at the faces of people that have symmetrical faces longer. Apps like the Face app, if you don't know, the Face app is the app that influencers use a lot to retouch their Instagram pictures. You know, there's proof that Face app makes people's face to be more symmetrical, and it also makes them appear more youthful. You know, there are markers of beauty in today's society. I could name some of them, like big eyes. You know, some people, for example, refer to people that have big eyes as bedroom eyes, you know, like implying that we want to sleep with them. You know, fuller lips. We all know about, you know, the phenomenon of lip fillers that has taken society, you know, by a storm. Like about a decade ago today, we know that it is, you know, straight hair or long hair, or at least hair that, you know, isn't coarse. It could be curly. I would say it could go up to 3B hair. It is thinness, slimness. Oh my god, right? We know that the world is fat phobic. It is high cheekbones, right? We know that model agencies, for example, are always looking, you know, for women with really high cheekbones in order to sign them, right? So there are markers, whether we like it or not, there are markers of beauty. There are certain traits that if you possess them, a lot of them or most of them, you know, super long eyelashes, for example, there's a reason why women are always gluing what I call the spider lashes on their eyes, right? Because those are markers of beauty in the modern society, in the society that we live in, right? So undeniably so, no matter how much we encourage each other, no matter how much we tell each other that everybody's beautiful, clearly some people are deemed as, viewed as, perceived as more beautiful than others by a larger group. So if beauty is subjective, then we all have the same taste, you guys, because it's always similar looking women that end up building a platform off of their looks that, you know, go viral on Instagram or Twitter in the name of being beautiful. So clearly, you know, somebody is lying. Like, there is literally a science, there is a math behind beauty. Like, there are apps out there that you can download and, you know, put your picture in, and the app will tell you, will assess how symmetrical your face is. So there is literally a science behind beauty. Beauty is facial symmetry, right? Now, why do I care, right? Why it is important. I know that somebody's watching this video right now thinking, Manetta, like, even if you were right, even if beauty wasn't, you know, nearly as subjective as we claim it to do, like, why should we care? Now, for two reasons, you know, and I'm gonna begin my argument with the story time a couple of months ago, I was in Pick and Kloppenburg. Now, for those of you who don't know what Pick and Kloppenburg is a mall here in Germany. So I was there and I was just roaming around. I didn't have something specific in mind, to be honest. So I just had my earphones and I was listening to some music. You know, I wasn't trying to buy something specific. So I was just looking around, and if I saw something that I liked, I would have purchased it. That was just, you know, my mood of the day. And then I saw, you know, a scene caught my eyes of a woman dragging another woman. I didn't pay much attention to it, like I said, because I was drifting. But then all of a sudden, I find these two women, both black women, by the way, in front of me. And they said something. One of them said something. Now, I couldn't hear her because of the earplug. So I removed the earplug and I said, huh? And, you know, she said, tell her she's beautiful. Tell my friend she's beautiful. She's pretty, right? She's tripping, right? And that scene was so surreal to me. Like, I hadn't really looked at them really. So I remember like just mumbling something and just, you know, going away. I remember just literally kind of like running away because it was I felt very uncomfortable, right? And, you know, as I left there, I went to Starbucks and I was reading my book. And as I was reading, I thought about the scene again. How us emphasizing the importance of beauty so much in young girl children has made the life of women who are not the most conventionally attractive difficult, right? I dream of a world, and obviously this is utopic, right, where a woman will be able to say, you know what, I am not the most beautiful woman, and that's just that, you know, therefore I'm smart, therefore I'm accomplished, therefore I am, you know, funny, etc., etc. Think about how even in 2023, right, one of the biggest insults you can tell a woman is how ugly she is or how basic it is. That is so behind, you guys. Like, I don't understand why it is this way. Like, it seems like beauty is something that you need to possess in order to occupy a space called female, when really it isn't. And I find that the fact that we as parents always tell, you know, our girls, children that, you know, you're beautiful, everybody's beautiful, everybody's beautiful, everybody's beautiful, no matter how many times they come home and complain about being bullied, complain about being called ugly, these people are just haters, they just hate you, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you are beautiful. I don't think that we are doing our children, you know, service when we do this. I really feel like we do them a disservice, because what does, you know, emphasize is the importance of beauty, is how important it is for a woman to be beautiful. Like, that just reinforces that if you do not possess beauty, you possess nothing. So I really want us, you know, as a society by and large, to work on this. You know, lately I seen a video for the one and only Viola Davis, whom I adore. And, you know, Viola Davis is more talented than most people. She's more successful than most people. She's more accomplished than most people, right? Most people will never have the level of fame and accomplish, you know, she's probably a multi-millionaire, you know, the level of financial freedom that Viola has. And yet and still, you know, Viola in most of her interview is always talking about how she felt worthless because she's not conventionally attractive. I even saw an interview where she was crying and bawling about this, and that really, really saddened me, right? Because here is a woman who's achieved so much, you know, more than most drop-dead gorgeous women. Still, she feels, you know, that something is wrong with her not being conventionally attractive, right? Because we have put so much worth in beauty as a society, as if it was something that people could control. You guys, people can't control what they look like, right? Beauty is like the genetic lottery most of the time. Sure, some people have had plastic surgery, but most of the women that have plastic surgery and end up drop dead gorgeous, rather, sorry, you know, we're already slightly above average to begin with, right? I understand that the lingo is problematic, but bear with me. So us as a society putting so much weight on something that people cannot control, like skin tone, the texture of their hair, you know, how attractive they are, how symmetrical their face is, which is, you know, based on their parents. I find that to be really unfair. See, most people are average. Now, for whatever reason, average has become an insult. If you say someone is average, you know, everybody is like, ooh, you know, the shade, you're being shady. Average just means the sum of, okay? Most people are average. When you're walking out in the street, most people are average looking. Like, it is very rare that you are going to see somebody that is so beautiful that you have to have a second look and look at them again. And it's also very rare that you have to look at somebody that is so unattractive, quote unquote unattractive, that you have to, again, to have a second look and look at them. Most people are average, and average people marry average people, they breed with average people, and they give birth to average children, and most people are average. So let's stop with the obsession of beauty. And the second reason why I find that, you know, putting beauty on such a pedestal and finding that some women who are attractive are more valuable than others is toxic, is because some futures are upheld on top of others, is in order to dismantle the system. You know, I used to watch Kimberly from For Harriet, and I watch a lot of TikTokers who talk a lot about dismantling the system of beauty, and every time I see this video, I can't help but laugh, right? Because we can't on one hand say everybody's beautiful, you know, we're all drop dead gorgeous, everybody got a face card that never declines, and on the other hand say, oh, there's a system here, there's a hierarchy, the women who are on top are the one benefiting more than the women at the bottom. Which one is it, you guys? Are there people who are considered to be more attractive than other, or is it that everybody is beautiful? You know, you're all gonna have to choose, because clearly it can't be both, right? It can't be both. It has to be one. Okay, is there a system where some women are upheld on top of others, or is it that we are all beautiful? Again, it cannot be both. Right now, in closing, I just wanted to ask you guys, because, you know, realistically, the entire world is not going to see this video, but what I'm hoping to achieve here is that even if it's just one person that start going through the world being mindful, being careful of how is it they're going, how they are dealing with people. I want to ask you, if you made it to this point of the video, please, in your day-to-day life, be mindful of how it is, you know, you are acting or talk to people. When you find yourself being extremely dismissive of somebody, make sure, you know, you ask yourself, why it is, am I doing this? Am I doing this because this person is, you know, overweight? Am I doing this because this person is, you know, unattractive to me? So this I really wanted to ask you guys, because one thing that we do as a society is gaslight fat people, for example, right? We love to do this. Every time that someone complains about how fatphobic the world is, how, you know, fat people are being treated differently, we always say, oh, just be confident, girl, just be confident. And that is one of the reasons why I actually hate the word confidence. I really dislike it, because I find that it is a word that is being used in order to gaslight marginalized identities. Every time that a marginalized identity come out to talk about oppression, the very real oppression and abuse that they face, we say, oh, just be confident, girl, just be confident. You know, one day we are going to have an honest conversation about how confidence most of the time only affects you, right? How you feel about you affects you. The fact that you think that you are the baddest BITCH in the game doesn't mean that when you go out there in the world, you are going to be treated like the baddest BITCH in the game. If somebody is fatphobic, you know, you feeling good in your skin is not going to change how that person is going to treat you. And someday we are going to need to have an honest conversation about that, instead of just gaslighting, you know, overweight people. It is the world, like society by and large, that needs to change, not people. You know, one of the reasons why I believe that I have a unique perspective when it comes to beauty is because I used to be deemed as ugly. I have a video about this, growing up ugly, and you know, back then people treated me as if I was worthless. Now I had a glow up, and you know, strangers often come to me to compliment me about being pretty or how gorgeous I am, and I have said this in very many videos. I am actually resentful of this. I do not feel flattered by this at all, because I know that, God forbid, if I got into a car accident or something, if something was to happen to me, you know, these same people would not be nice to me anymore. You know, if something happened to my face or to my legs or whatever, I would go back to being worthless again. And that's that on that. Okay, you guys, these are the thoughts that I have, you know, in the hierarchy and the politics of beauty. If you found this video thought-provoking, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. In the comment section down below, make sure you let me know, what do you think? Is beauty subjective or is it objective? I believe it is objective, but if you disagree, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel as well, and I will talk to you guys on Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye guys. Mwah.